Good morning and welcome to another edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. I'm out here at the range doing some testing on my 410 defensive loads that I loaded just a few videos ago, and I was asked to do testing with them in both a short barrel pistol and a shotgun. So I have my Bond Arms Derringer with a 2.5 inch chamber. It has about a 3.5 inch barrel. I have my Smith & Wesson Governor, and then I have two different shotguns, one with a cylinder bore choke and one with a improved cylinder choke. So I'm going to start off with my Bond Arms Derringer, and I'm going to use the actual Hornady critical defense rounds. I'm only going to shoot one of them at the target. I'm at 7 yards. I measured it out. So I'm going to start off with one of the Hornady critical defense, and I'm not the best shot with this thing, so we'll see how I can do. Again, 7 yards, which is what their rated distance is for this. Let's see which barrel I'm on here. Well, I hit the target. That was a little bit on the high side. Let's see which barrel I'm on here. Well, I hit the target. That was a little bit on the high side. Shot well. I'm going to shoot the other one. See if I'm on the right barrel here. Nope. I don't know where that one went. Maybe it went low. I am a terrible, terrible shot with this Derringer, which is yet another reason why I don't carry it. I don't know where that one went.
What the hell is even that?
Well, that was two shots of the critical defense round, which has a 41 caliber slug on top of two balls. I'm going to use two of my similar rounds, which have two balls of triple-aught buck below a 9mm slug, all in a wad. So shooting at the right target. I'm going to take two shots again, and we'll see how these go. Again, I'm a terrible shot with this gun, so I don't expect a whole lot. Wow, mine are definitely stouter than theirs. Doesn't look too bad from here. We're going to check that out in a minute. But the next round that I'm going to do is another defensive round that I loaded, which is two balls of triple-aught buck with some number 7.5 birdshot on top of it, all tidied up with a overshot card on top of it. Again, I'll take two shots at the right target. I think this one's going to be pretty cool because it's going to be a little circle of birdshot with 2 rounds of buckshot in there. So again, 2 rounds at the right target. And out of this, they are pretty much useless. I see a few pellets of birdshot, and basically, I don't think any of the buckshot rounds hit it. They might have hit the target low, but that's the Bond Arms Derringer. Mine are definitely stouter than theirs. Doesn't look too bad from here. We're going to check that out in a minute. And out of this, they are pretty much useless. So showing what I did with those rounds, I know the first one was high over here, the Hornady. I think the second Hornady hit really low because I was aiming low, but that Bond Arms Derringer, because it's an over-under, the barrels are really wide. And then I think this was one of my 9mm rounds. This was the other 9mm round, or one of the buckshot rounds. We'll have to go back and review the footage, and I can only see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 or 9 pellets out of the birdshot that went through that. This was one of the rounds too, so I'm gonna have to go back and review the footage to see what's what on this particular round. All right, now I'm doing the same test again at 7 yards, this time using my Smith & Wesson Governor. Again, 2 rounds of the critical defense, then 2 rounds of my buck and slug, and then 2 rounds of my buck and birdshot. So let's see how this goes. I have a lot better hopes with this gun. The barrel's a little bit longer and I can shoot this a lot better. we'll see how this looks. It looks much better on the target this time around. So I think my buck and ball shots and my buck and bird shots worked out pretty well. I almost think they're a little bit better than the Hornady rounds. The Hornady round obviously has a bigger slug and it's a FTX, so it's an expanding tip projectile. But let's check out the target. So the left target is the one I was shooting. Again, the first 2 rounds, the Hornady I think went a little bit high, and then I brought the sights down a little bit, and you can see some of the other rounds that I fired I think were a little bit lower, and then I think the bottom ones were my buck and bird. And honestly, birdshot out of a Governor or out of a Bond Arms Derringer is pretty much completely useless because it's spinning. The barrel is so short and it's spinning. As soon as it exits the barrel, there's basically nothing left. It just spreads so wide it misses the target entirely. But for me, that's not too bad. I mean, again, if I need to aim a little bit lower to hit what I'm aiming at, but the first couple rounds were high and the second couple rounds were low. It doesn't seem like any of them are tumbling. There's no keyholing of the rounds coming out of there, so that's a good sign. I think those are promising self-defense rounds out of a pistol. All right, so this time around, I have my Mossberg 500E, which is a 410 pump action shotgun. I only have 1 round of the critical defense left, and then I have 2 rounds of my buck and slug and 2 rounds of my buck and bird shot. I'm not going to replace the target yet. I know where all the impacts are, so I should be able to see where the new ones are. And I moved back. I'm at about 10 or 12 yards now, so 35, 36 feet, somewhere around there. So here we go. One of them didn't eject. That was much better. This is a cylinder bore shotgun. So that was out of a cylinder bore shotgun, and you can see the rounds are a lot closer together. You can see all those birdshot impacts. I would say the buck and birdshot out of a smoothbore cylinder bore shotgun is deadly. It is awesome out of this shotgun. Not so much out of the pistol, but the buck and slugs work pretty well out of the pistols, and the buck and bird worked amazingly well out of the shotgun.